and the topic is challenges of management education for the 21st century. And our president has introduced certain aspects of challenges as well as opportunities available for MBA students, especially in the era of digital age. And also we are having certain opportunities of what are the possibilities of globalization as well as some threats. So before going to that globalization or the liberalization policy across the world, and also the unleashing the immense possibilities of technology, especially that of information technology, has a direct impact on all walks of activities, not only in business, but also in education. And those changes, those environmental changes should be incorporated into the system, whether it is business or it is education or social sectors or government departments, in order to sustain in with a stability in the field of their work. That is most important. That is the basic challenge we are also confronting in the management education. We have to look into those aspects, and especially so running of management institutes in our country. So I want to share certain important challenges which the management education, management teachers, the institutes as well as students facing in the midst of these mixed environment. And I can come back within, that is not taking too much time for introducing the aspect as well as the importance of this subject. It is a vast area. So every individual, every student, every teacher, every business man and entrepreneurs, they know so many aspects regarding the management education challenges that is related to business management. And before going to see what is the current status of management education in India, so to get a start and to understand the veracity as well as intensity of the problems we are confronting, this is imperative to have a look into these areas. So you see that at present, higher education, though management education is a part of higher education, and a UGC at its 2020 data, it is given that 1,040 universities and about 40,000 colleges, higher learning institutions, with 374 lakh students and about 15 to 18 lakhs teachers. They are within the gigantic higher education enterprise that is the endure in our country. In terms of population, we are second. In terms of our economic power, we are the fourth. And in terms of what is the demographic dividend, we are second. And these are the opportunities with us. We have to proceed with. And you know that higher education, technology, raw material and capital, these are the driving force for the prosperity of a nation. no doubt. And higher education and technology. So that should be utilized in such a manner in order to give value for capital and raw material. And you can negotiate the capabilities of capital and technology, but you can improve the value of raw material as well as capital with this. So the most important components for negotiating things or in the road of prosperity and development, that is higher education and technology. Technology, we see the immense opportunities for so the conversions and the transforming things. So in an unimaginable magnitude. That is the thing we are witnessing, especially in the situation, this difficult pandemic situation. So technology, that is why we are here. And so the people, we are in distant places, are coming together for sharing their thoughts and also so getting value addition in their thoughts from different individuals, different professionals, and different parts. So that is the situation. And but our GER, that is the most important indicator. General enrollment ratio is 26% in 2020. And an advanced country needs more than 50. And advanced countries average, that is 56. And we are moving towards that end, is that. And in that, generally our higher education having challenges and difficulties, that is applicable into management education also. So the most important is funding, deficiency in funding of the institutional working. Then also another most important aspect already pointed out by our chairperson is the employability, lower employability, and employability, what is the knowledge of employment as well as employment skill. Those are low with the Indian students, the output, the product coming out of this higher education system. That is not the fault of the students. I am not blaming the students. This is a part of the system we have developed. And we can come to that later. Then another most important thing is the poor standard of teaching, pedagogy, and classroom management. So where we have to go much higher in order to be in par with the international standard. We are trying our level best to come with that. Yes. Then the feeble governance. So in the administration of the, so except certain institutions, we can see what are the administrative capability of universities. We can see what is the input in education management provided by the vice chancellors, their contribution for developing universities in the world-class institutions. They are given 100% mandate, but I am in agreement with that the funding problem is there, institutional inefficiencies are there, but within this constraint, certain institutions are coming up. Because I have already pointed out what is the place of what is technology, place of knowledge. Higher education means the treasure house of knowledge. These universities and institutions, and they are creating knowledge, storing knowledge, and disseminating knowledge. So knowledge hub, where? Universities. Why these administrators could not be in a position to use. This good knowledge is stored. That should be taken out. And also blending with technology, the deficiency in capital and resources can be not eliminated, but minimized to some extent. Any effort on the part of, there may be exceptions, no doubt. And also, so there is complex regulations. So many institutions, University Grants Commission, and in the case of our MBA and technical education, All India Council for Technical Education, medical education, separate one, law education, separate one, teaching education, separate one, agriculture, and like that, so many. But their focus should be to their area. And what is the progress? So some progresses are there, but that is not up to the expectation. That is the question is coming in. When the output result of these institutions are in par with the public expectation, the need of our nation, then pricing will be there instead of questioning. But that is not from many areas. And these complex regulations are there when people are coming with novel, innovative ideas. And there is no much motivation and not with encouragement from the part of the regulatory bodies. That is another one. So these are the things of challenges which are affecting with the whole higher education scenario of our country. We have to could not be separated management education from all these vagaries, all these difficulties, but we are part of that. Within in the integral part of higher education, what are the things we can do as a separate discipline, where Dr. Ravi Kumar rightly pointed out a point is that apart from other disciplines, what is the uniqueness of management education? Other areas, the products, output, students passed from that discipline, they are looking for employment. And their training is only for the knowledge. But here, the training is how to be an entrepreneur, how to provide, create job instead of seekers of job. That is the most important advantage, where entrepreneurial abilities, managing an institution, managing business establishment, managing a society, managing the nation itself, it is being imparted through the curriculum and syllabi, and also pedagogy, expected pedagogy on the part of the management MBA discipline. So, what is the extent to which those are being achieved? That is a different dimension we have to see. But that is the then coming a point with the management education, we are within the midst of these realities. We have to think of that. Number two, after this general education, the higher education in general, second, our MBA education. So management education as a separate branch of study. So that is in history we can see the first B school, in the name of a B school, came into existence in France. Lyon is the city where the school was started in 1872, followed by 1881, that is the first collegiate business school. That is under the University of Peninsula. That is in 1881. An entrepreneur, renowned entrepreneur of that time and exports in management, Joseph Wharton. He was instrumental to establish the first collegiate business school under the Pennsylvania University in 1881. Then we can see so many business schools like MIT, Sloan, Columbia Business School, the Stanford Business School, and the renowned, now world famous, that is school, Harvard Business School, 1908 established. And in USA, Europe, and Asiatic countries, so many business schools, because of what is the importance of business industry got so and accepted by the world. It is a reality to see that without business, without economic activities, without nursing and nurturing these institutions, business institutions, and people with a professional skill, people with enough knowledge, they can lead the institution in a successful manner in order to provide a stability for the economic condition, situation of the country. Those are the advanced countries. They have realized the importance of business education very earlier. And in India, we can see slight, that is the commerce education before our independence like that. But a formal management school was established in India only in 1953. That is under the University of Kolkata University now. That is in in Kolkata with the involvement of the West Bengal government at that time, Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management, first MBA program in India, started there in Calcutta, Indian Institute of Social Welfare and Business Management. That is IISWBM. So this is 53, followed by so many universities. Delhi University started MBA program 55, and Madras the same year. Then, so the phenomenal, what is the thing happened in area of management education to get into heights with the establishment of Indian Institute of Management, specialization there. And the first Indian Institute of Management was established in Calcutta also, 1961. IIM Calcutta. Then followed by 62, Ahmedabad, IIM-A. Then so many institutes came into being, and now at present there are 12 IIMs at present. And also, as rightly said by the chairperson, so we are a mushrooming of institutions. Every 5 year doubling of management institute in India, like that of the engineering colleges. And now as per the available official records, 7,361 colleges, institutes or department offering MBA education in India. And nearly 5 lakhs students are undergoing that. And we can come to the quality perspectives. Or so that is the quantum of number of institutions. What is the requirement? Already pointed out by Dr. Ravi Kumar. Only 35,000. That can be that capability only with the business establishment in India to absorb them, to give meaningful and befitting employment to them. This is the situation in which we have to analyze what are the challenges facing by? Yes, rightly said. There is a one that is the mushrooming of institutions. It is simple economics that supply that level exceeds demand. What will be? So excess stock is there. So the number of MBA graduated out to the system and looking for jobs. That is the most important problem facing not only in management education field, in almost all areas. We can see educated unemployment. In general, there is a huge problem. And the government or the public sector cannot accommodate each and every educated graduates into the system of their employment. But it is only a limited number. But the option elsewhere universally is unleashing the private entrepreneurs, creating the good conditions for starting, coming up in the area of enterprises. This is not only the large, gigantic organizations like that of MNCs. That is a different one. Yes, it is okay, well and good. But our graduates, our technology people, our business people, and others who are willing to come to experiment with ideas, they should be given opportunity to start. Startup, the central government as well as government in Kerala, they have already taken so many measures, because the inhibition I see that is there should be a cultural problem or the climate. So in 18, under the auspices of our Higher Education Council in Kerala, I was at that time the chairman of the research wing, conducting what is the policy paper to be prepared for the enhancing the quality of research in Kerala, especially in academic institutions, universities. At that time, conducted a survey to conducted a survey among the students, how they are seeing the employment opportunities available in private sector. So now the mindset is changed and people are ready to accept. But the problem they highlighted is that is security of employment. Why they are looking for government employment is that the hire and fire policy. Otherwise, they are ready to accept that. Such a law is there. But you can see in the advanced countries, hire and fire will be there, but that is on the basis of the strict norms, criteria fixed for that. When and how and for what an employee could be fired from an industrial establishment. But here, there is no policy at all, but trade unionism and so many things will follow that. That is a different one. I am not going to. But the attitude of the people has been changed. And now the student with business talent, with technology as skill, they are coming with so many startups. So what are the opportunities available for the startup? So is also mentioned by our honorable chairman of this session regarding those things. I'm not explaining, but it is a challenge that every individual, every management graduate coming out from the system not that is look for an employment. But if they are talented, if they have the capability, they have to come forward to experimenting idea for in the form of startups, starting businesses. And so in earlier, at the time of 2009, 13, I was the director of our institute, IMK. At that time, that is ED cell, entrepreneurial development cell. That is funded by the central government at that time. So Department of Science and Technology, a 45 lakh one. So we have trained so many persons, housewives in the area of beauty parlor, and so many technician related courses from the people other side outside the system of higher education. So brought there and training given. So in Trivandrum we can see 5-6 beauty parlor run by those housewives who got training from that. So my submission before the younger generation is that you have to experiment with that. If there is an opportunity for getting a good job, yes, you join first and get training from there, come back and to do that. Or if you are not talented enough to start, or your capability or confidence level is low, first you go for getting an employment like that. So we have already seen what are the immense opportunities are there by the globalization forces, but threats are there, like in the case of other areas. And an MBA is not looking for local jobs. Yes, local they can accept. It is not national, but they have to see international perspective of getting jobs. So we can see in the case of the quality is another important one. How now we have already seen number one challenge, that is the demand supply mismatch, and how these are impacting with the opportunities of the MBA students, and how that is acting as a threat to them, and how to break that situation is we have to think of that. And so many areas are there. When you are looking forward in the case of a difficult situation, opportunities will come. Opportunities are there in the time of difficulties. We will look alternatives. Then newer and newer. That is what is the innovation. So MBA students, management students should be innovative, and they are getting what is the inputs to raise their innovative mind. So use that mind and breakthrough for that to adjust the demand supply mismatch in the student outing from the institutions. And we have already seen that is the mushroom growth. Then the quality concerns. So quality is the most important thing. You can see quality, total quality movement, that is Six Sigma, and so many other techniques and tools are being done. The world-class business, world-class manufacturing, and so many concepts and techniques, programs, everything that is in the syllabi and curriculum. And why we are not going for such a quality oriented? We can quality output from the result. That is what is the job employability has already we have discussed, there is only 10% of the people are getting jobs just after the completion of MBA program. So certain exceptions, IIM exceptions, they are excellent institutions, 100% comparable with the what is the institution run by advanced countries and renowned universities, no doubt. Because such an infrastructure, such a what is the cream students, those are given to them with advantages. So anyone can run that institution with a good infrastructure, good finance, good administrative aspect, autonomous status, with a high quality teachers, with a high ranking. So things like that. With what is the filtering of student admission and the cream. So then they can so excel, no doubt. But those are getting what is the job placement, no doubt. But taking an average Indian institute, average Indian management institute. So that is AIIM, average Indian management institutes. So you can see that so many difficulties are there, and that is why only 30% are employable. And I have already said that the teaching learning process is one of the things. So when we quality concern will be taken, the technology, that is one of the most important thing. Technology, that should be part of the study curriculum. So many universities have already incorporated the technology aspect. Management education is coming in the technology discipline, and that technological inputs that should be given, and the students should have technology orientation to undertake. So you can see the latest addition, robotics or artificial intelligence. Those are being applied in the recruitment, in marketing, in or manufacturing, in all areas. In multinational companies, and even though in small companies, even in small companies, this technology integration is there. Different types of technology, and the most important is ICT. So ICT has immense possibilities. If the management students so have been recruited in a business establishment without the knowledge of technology, they will be sidelined. So technology, so handling these latest technological aspect application is knowledge, and of course, so though dealing with that, so training that will be given. If a incumbent has to take training, he has somewhat knowledge regarding this. So there is a must technology orientation that should be given for the quality improvement. And the teachers, so now the about 50%, more than 50, 60, 70% of the institutions, they are self-financing. What about the quality of the teachers? We cannot cut what is the quality output of the students. But our institutions are management institution. That is not an exception. Other self-financing colleges. So they can take a surplus amount. That is why they are investing. That is in a business model. But their product, when a business should be successful, their product should be qualitatively high. It should be usable. That is the success of a business establishment. If you are accepting that model in management education, then you have to see that your students should be quality oriented. And how the quality in terms of knowledge, in terms of skill, both the technical skill, ICT skill, as well as soft skill. What is the knowledge domain of the students? This knowledge domain, core knowledge of the MBA students. So I had the experience with the interview board when MBA students are coming. In terms of their knowledge, a peripheral one. But an MBA student should have should be expected to give in a befitting manner their domain knowledge, whether it is in marketing or in finance or in operation or in HR. Peripheral knowledge that is not advantageous for a postgraduate professional student. So professionalism is another aspect in quality. You have to exhibit your professional attitude, professional skill. Professionalism is how you can so exhibit those things in a befitting manner on the basis of the situation warrants. That is the disciplined following of the knowledge domain and that also the what are the requirement of that profession. And what is the in theoretical base, we can see that we are molding managers out of MBA program. So manager is a professional and he can give advices to the businessman, consultancies, revisers, in order to so have his own contribution in the development of our nation. So those things are not with that of the average MBA student. What is the fault? Is it the fault of the curriculum syllabi? Is it the fault of the teachers? Is it the fault of the institutes? We can say that everyone is responsible. Everyone is responsible. But are you doing your part better as a student? As a student, you have the ability to learn. You have already completed a graduation, whatever the discipline. So completing a graduation with 50%, that is the cutoff, what is the eligibility criterion for getting MBA admission in. So in Kerala, so that is the general rule. And such a person should have the ability to learn more about. So the self-study with the support of the faculty members with online sources. And already Dr. Ravi Kumar pointed out what are the sources available for. So the digital learning, where the social media having its own role, and now it takes the role of an education platform also, and a dissemination of information and knowledge, both warranted and unwarranted are there. Okay. And also the applications, net, library, e-learning, everything is there. why the students who are very serious about those things, they can learn more and their domain knowledge. So the most important quality concern, the addressing to that with the first stakeholders, the foremost stakeholders of MBA education is the student, no doubt. When you join for a program, yes, their dual opportunities are with the MBA, employee or entrepreneur, But so both are the, I think that, so a question, blunt question asked to any person, a student or a public person or a parents. So joining for a PG program, not only for personality development alone, it is for getting a decent job, for leading a decent life, a career, a job that will give you the profile, no doubt. And a job, what is the work you are doing, that is making you, that is the personality of you. The personality will be judged in terms of what is your work, what you are doing with that. Otherwise, what about the degrees with distinction and or capability, that that will not be counted by others with a good job. So your aim, whenever asked with the students, is to get a good job, no doubt. And for getting a job, what are you doing? That is this thing. That is the challenge facing for the MBA education. Opportunities are there. Learning opportunities. In the institution, there should be limitations. Teachers' limitations. Everywhere limit. But other opportunities are there, like that of e-learning and so many sources, platforms, everywhere. But time, that is the most important thing, managing time. So breaking this embargo, breaking this situation, you have to go for those opportunities. That is the management challenge. So the people having the knowledge of innovation, the people having the capability to manage things, to manipulate things, to negotiate with things, and also opportunities that can be found out from difficulties. Those are the things included in the curriculum pedagogy and also the outside exposure for the students. That should be there. So qualitative improvement. So the institutional inefficiencies are there. We have already seen that a business model, 100% business model will not be workable for a model of a good institution, no doubt. So where we can see that the private institutions are there, private universities flourishing in developed countries, in foreign countries. Why? There is no profit motive at all. Whatever earned, that should be invested for the development of that institutions, quality orientation. Crores and crores of dollars and euros and rupees will be given to the what is the eligible researchers, students, for undertaking newer research, for contributing for their university, their country. Here, the businessmen who are coming in the area, their aim is to get profit. You do the business and support the system, then you will get the best resources, best human resources for undertaking the challenges of 21st century challenges of the business in India. And there is what is the skill mismatch is the skill mismatch. Mismatch means what is the expected knowledge and skill from the MBA students by the businessman or industrialist. This is not possessed by the MBA who are coming out from the system. That is the complaint on the part of the businessman and industrialist. That is why the employability is 30%. That is why only 10% they are getting job immediately after the completion of MBA program. So how this should be addressed? Can be addressed. So there should be a linkage, interface between industry and that of the education, especially MBA institute. So curriculum syllabi. Now the steps are already taken to include the businessman, industrialist, the technologist, in the curriculum committee, in the syllabus committee, board of studies, everything. But I think that in practice, those are not working well. Theoretically, it is right, India, in many institutes. And also that how this mismatch in curriculum, syllabi, pedagogy, so case studies, and so many other methodologies are there, not only lecture method. So group teaching is another one. So case studies are there. Then simulation, gamification, and also technology applied. So many activities. So all these are given, and also so the interaction with the business people, and also so motivational class from the part of the successful entrepreneurs. And everything, all these are combined together to inculcate what is the confidence level of MBA students. Those are theoretical in the syllabi or curriculum like that. In practice, only few institutions are doing that. Otherwise, so the self-financing college, I had the experience. I traveled across the country and visited so many universities. Universities are also departments facing what is shortage of the students enrollment, not only in self-financing colleges. And in such a case, how the industry requirements should be addressed, how to inculcate the knowledge and the skill that is demanded from the industry can be inculcated in the students. That is the question. So a look should be there, and also discussion should be there, and also internships and also project work that should be given in. But another problem on the part of the industrialist is that they are not ready to take these people for internship or the project like that when that is coming in. So why the government of India, why the UGC, so can take a piece of law in that direction, that so the numbers should be fixed on the basis of, so there is the mismatch we have already seen. The requirement is the most important thing, as already pointed out earlier here, that what is the required numbers? You can give double the required number. This is 10 times or 20 times like that. Then situation will be pathetic. So such a planned approach in the educational management in terms of allowing courses, enrollment of students, and fixing disciplines like that. But a general, that should not be worked out in black and white, but a broad policy. That should be, that is with the every country, they are looking for a planned approach in the education development or development of any area. That should be done in order to address what is the problems of the requirement problem or the skill problems, and also that of the employability problems raised by the industrialist and businessman to the MBA students. That is another challenge that should be taken into account. Then our MBA education, like that of other areas, looking west. So models are there. And we have to follow what is the model, American model, so European model for agriculture, for industries, for business, for healthcare, for like that. Is it a right approach? So that is a context specific. What is the business development and things like required for India is different. So both should be given to exposed to the students. Yes, what are the best practices in the world? In everywhere, in business, in education, in management education, in pedagogy, in curriculum, in educational governance, in every area we can, and how that should be applicable here. We have to take the ground realities, and also a diversified large country like India. So now 29 to 30 states and also number of union territories, a vast area, second in terms of population. So we have to consider the region specific specialities also in education, and also the country specific specialities. So people should be given, the students should be given such an exposure to understand the different possibilities. And this looking west policy should be changed for adopting, this is the model applicable for Kerala, this is the model applicable for Tamil Nadu, this is the model applicable for South India, North India. That is a different one. But you can accept the what is the concepts, things, model, best practices. Is it is applicable here or not in the prevailing circumstances, or what are the things can be. So culture, that is different, language is different, and also the capability level. You can see that I can cite the example of Kerala. Kerala here, in terms of our health care sector, there is a model for the international model in the public health sector, public health care sector, how investment can be done in public hospitals. So how to train the medical staff, including doctors, nurses, and like that. How the building, then how the cost of treatment can be reduced. It is zero for the poor people, affordable. And how the quality treatment can be, medical care can be given. Those are the things shown by Kerala. That is studying by different countries, the advanced countries also that. And where for getting treatment, what is the cost? So such a model, how such a model is applicable and developed. So those types of things that can be, that should be ultimately benefit the students. So we can study what are the models suggested by developed countries or the successful economies like that, no doubt. But altogether absorbing that for implementation is dangerous, is unwise, and we have to remold that. In which way? So management education is modeled like that. Then coming to the institutional inefficiencies we have addressed, and so I have already placed certain ideas for your thinking in the form of what is management challenges of management education posed by here. Number one, I am briefing that. Number one, globalization liberalization policies from 1919 onwards. So we can see Thatcherism and Reaganomics. They are the twin world leaders opened for the world with these liberalization policies where so the economic boundaries dismantled and also the laws reframed accordingly in order to what is so the capitalist mode of development. So okay, those can be done, but that has given immense opportunity for business, import, export, and also supply chain, and also a large number of institutions came up, and the world became a global market, and produced whatever the product produced in any corner of the globe that can be available in our village. That is why, so in Trivandrum or in a small village, Undura, here, everything is available from German made or Chinese made or American made, all articles, product. Then there is a global market, part of the global market. So we have to think of that. Education is not an exception. So globalization and liberalization policy, right? And immense opportunities, but the same time that has posed everything is here, and the customers comparing the product quality and price like that, then competition, that is the order of the day, and you have to see what is the intensity of competition, that is with the education also, not only in business, not only in agriculture, everywhere. So globalization as a challenge of the both challenge as well as opportunities, and as MBA students having such a capability to think out of more opportunities from this threat, how this can be manipulated with your knowledge and technology oriented. That is the advantage of knowledge and technology. With the support of these twin aspects, you can think, you can make things happen, no doubt. So such a globalization, so technology immense use. Number two, globalization and liberalization policies, along with the most important intervention in the world in all walks of life. That is the technology. And the technology not only teaching or manufacturing, but so everywhere, ICT revolutionized the work areas. So the people, especially managerial people or the MBA students, they are the aspirant of jobs in companies in various areas, should have the capability to handle those technology. A knowledge is a must, and you have the capacity to get training when that is given to you by the employers, by the companies, the corporate bodies. So that challenge is to be undertaken. That challenge should be addressed by the MBA students. Then only you can break that. That is number 2 challenge. And number 3, that is the mushroom growth of institutions. We have seen that, and where we have already come into the point of the supply demand mismatch, and there is what is in such a situation inevitable possibilities that more stock will be there unsold. Like that, more MBAs are there without having proper job opportunities, and they have to think of in fourth take why such a stock is there, why unemployment is there, why so many MBA graduates, postgraduates, unemployed and still there, still in the labor market, still looking for jobs because of the quality concern. So quality teaching, learning, curriculum, students, output quality that is exhibited from your behavior when you are appearing for interviews, for tests, for various types of interviews. You cannot do justice with the domain knowledge and skill. Then you will be sidelined, and who will be responsible for that? First stakeholder, yourself. You have to know this. What are the limitations? You know very well, because you are adult people, not children. You have already obtained a graduation. Then only you can go for a PG program. So it is expected that a graduate has the capability to understand the situation, the environmental study they can done. That can be done. They can do that. These things should be taken into account, quality concern. That is why 10% placement like that. You have to look into inside and such a quality orientation. That is the third one. Fourthly, they have discussed with the point of that is the gap, skill gap. That is the gap between what is the requirement of the industry and what is the uh, accomplishment, knowledge and skill accomplishment on the part of the MBA students. That is a wide gap is there. How that can be bridged in such a manner, and things like that I have already explained. And another aspect I have already pointed out, that is the institutional difficulties, in institutional inefficiencies. Those are the things we have already discussed, and the business model of management education is not at all advisable. But the people having such an orientation come to support the education system, it is okay. So philanthropic institutions are there, and so many other providers are there. They have to supplement these things, and not for profit. Or of course, and surplus that can be made, that should be reinvested in order to that. And the fantastic opportunity, that is the dualistic opportunities, are with the MBA graduates in the form of employees as well as entrepreneurs. You can see that. These are the things I wanted to have a brief presentation before you, and thank you for that.